Over the last 12 hours, I would say that the final nails have been put in the coffin for Terra Luna. Now, about 12 hours ago, I made a video saying I'm not expecting this thing to recover, but there were some chances for opportunity for it to stabilize at some point. But in the last few hours, we have seen news come out that I think is just completely taking away those opportunities and putting, again, those final nails in the coffin to say that this thing is likely done for good. Now, as we can see, Terra Luna is now down 2.0009, multiple dozens of percentages just over the last couple of hours. And that has been directly due to the update we got from Binance, which was a notice of removal and a complete delisting of Luna from its exchange. Now, some people may say, well, realistically, every exchange has been delisting Luna, so what's the big deal? But if you are new here, you may not know, but Binance is the biggest exchange in the world, currently in about 1,600 different markets with 22 million weekly visits. And, it's just not even really comparable to some of these other exchanges. And considering the fact that they are the biggest exchange in the world, that is going to have a very hard domino effect throughout many of these smaller exchanges in which they will likely follow the same steps. Now, I know we have seen some other platforms such as Gemini already freezing trading of Luna, but I think this is going to lead to the complete delisting of Luna from many exchanges, which of course is going to just be absolutely detrimental to any future hopes of recovery. So what this notice of removal basically said was that they will remove and cease trading, close users' positions, conduct an automatic settlement, and cancel all pending orders on the following margin trading pairs. It will include a delisting and closing of all cross-margin pairs, isolated margin pairs, spot pairs, BUSD margin perpetual contracts like Luna to BUSD. And basically what this means is that there is no accessibility of Luna on their entire platform itself. So considering the fact that we are basically seeing no one being able to access or trade Luna at the same time we are seeing all of their positions being immediately liquidated, that has been the perfect formula for there to be no buying pressure and only selling pressure from the biggest exchange in the world, which of course has led to the price just getting even further decimated to the downside as this death spiral does continue. Now, as we have been seeing all of these liquidations and as we have been seeing all of this bad news, it of course has led to this price falling, but it has also been a direct result of the continuation of UST being burned, which now has the total supply of Luna. Now that, remember, whenever UST gets burned, more Luna is minted. The total supply of Luna is now sitting right at a whopping 3.2 trillion. And, there's just no recovery, right? Something people have to understand is that in a market in which the supply is growing so dramatically, the only thing that can counter that supply is a very, very high amount of demand. Whenever your supply is increasing, you need your demand to be increasing just at that same rate, because if people aren't buying it, but the supply is increasing, there is absolutely no way in any market for the net value to grow. That's just not how economics works. And so for that reason, while we are seeing supply being just be multiple times and times and times over, at the same time in which we are seeing all of these exchanges delisting Luna, there's no way for the demand to meet the necessary requirements to equal out the increase in supply. And I simply just could not even envision a world in which we could see the demand and the buying pressure from Luna slowing down this minting that's happening, increasing the supply dramatically. And that's why I said earlier, something people don't understand is that it's not as simple as, well, Luna just needs to go back to $10 for me to retire now. It was 10x higher than that before, so it can do it again. No, the supply of Luna is multiple times, dozens to hundreds, even thousands times higher than it was then. The road back to those levels is near impossible. It is not in the same position that it was when it hit $100. The supply is nowhere near that same level, so it would take multiple hundreds of times more buyers to even get close to a cent at this point. And so for that reason, I genuinely just do not believe there is a road back to glory for them. So for that reason, this is probably going to be either the last or one of the last Luna videos that I'm going to make. And I hope you guys did enjoy this journey in which we did try to cover this thing as best as possible. And I tried to provide you guys with the best knowledge that I could about this situation. There are many things in which I've learned from this that I am going to cover in a future video, so do definitely stay tuned for that. But unless any major developments do come out, I probably will be moving back to going over my Matics and Solanas and Bitcoins and Ethereums and moving on into bigger and better things. So with that being said, I'm looking forward to closing the chapter on this thing, as it had been quite a sucky experience, but I'm definitely very, very appreciative of all of you who have supported me throughout this journey, and I hope that I was able to provide you guys with knowledge through a scary time to hopefully provide a little bit of ease of mind. So with that said, that's going to be about it for today's video, and I will see you all in the morning. Peace.